Today is the introductory class of the endocrine system. In that system, we will explain all the different kinds of gland and their secretion. You can see that the hormones and their distribution. So we have to know what is the hormone and how it is distributed to the entire body, and what are the major functions that can involve the different pathway. So we will see all those things. So let's try to explain the endocrine system. So endocrine system, you can say it's a branch of biology, or you can say the branch of medicines studies the normal productions and the functions of the hormones and their distributions. The endocrine system is a collection of the glands and their secretes the hormones. The name endocrine that refers the fact these glands don't have the ducts, so they will release their hormones and they are circulating through the blood, and the specific type of receptors that bind with that specific hormones, and that kind of binding changes the function of the cells, and that can maintain the entire homeostasis in the body. So these are kind of the definition of the endocrine system. Now we want to go through the what are the hormones, type of the hormones, and you can already know the hormone signaling, because already I have said that they changes their functions. So like we have to know about the endocrine signaling. Let's see that image. So this image show that this is the brain region. This is the brain region. You can see there are three major points are there. One point is known as the hypothalamus region. Another point that show that the pituitary gland. I think you can see my cursor. So that is the pituitary gland, that is the hypothalamus, and another major gland is the pineal gland. So three glands are present in the brain, and in that the neck region, that is the thyroid gland, and the behind the thyroid it's a parathyroid gland is there. And then in chest sides the thymus gland is there, and then the stomach is there, and they release some of the local hormones. I'll explain with all those details. And this is the liver also secreted some of these things. Then the pancreas, it is the pancreas. I'll mention on that is the pancreas, because this line, yes, this is the pancreas. And then you can see the kidney, and in top of the kidney the adrenal glands are there. And then if it is a male, the testes will be there, and if it is a females, then the ovary will be there, and the uterus is there. So these are kind of the endocrine organ, but that can release the hormones. So now we have to introduce about what are the major hormones secreted from these organs. So let's start from the top of the body. So like in in hypothalamus, there are TRH, thyroid releasing hormone. So in hypothalamus, most of the releasing hormones are released. So like thyroid releasing hormone, corticotropin releasing hormone, gonadotropic releasing hormone, and along with the dopamine, somatostatin, and vasopressin. So these are these are the hormones that release from that hypothalamus. And you go through the pituitary gland, that can release the growth hormone, and the thyroid stimulating hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormones, follicle stimulating hormone, melanocyte stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, along with prolactin, oxytocin, and the vasopressin. These are kind of hormones are secreted from this pituitary gland. This gland is releasing this kind of hormones. Then we go for the pineal gland. Pineal gland, it is in the brain, so that can release the melatonin and that help for the sleeping or sleep wake cycle. I will discuss later. Then thyroid gland and parathyroid gland, and from these the important two T3 and T4, and calcitonin from parathyroid gland, and the PTH is secreting from that, and thymus, thymoprotein, thymopoietin, and then in liver that is the THPO, and from adrenal gland that will be the glucocorticoids, adrenaline and the noradrenaline there, along with stomach, gastrin, ghrelin, histamine, somatostatin and neuropeptide. Why these are kind of local hormone? I'll go through all that entire details. What are the local hormone and their functions? And along with pancreas, insulin, glucagon, homeostasis, and the ovary and placenta, it will be estrogen and the progesterone. And from the testis part, it will be the inhibin and estradiol and testosterone, definitely. Not in exactly testis, but in that exact proportion, I'll explain. Kidney, it will be renin angiotensin system, that's the renin and the calcitriol and erythropoietin. So these are the entire spectrum of organs that can release these kind of hormones. So now we will go through the hormones. So what are the hormones? Let's write. So these are the hormones. In hormone, like three type of hormones are there. One will be the peptide or protein, or you can say protein base, and second you can say the steroid, and third one will be the amino acid derived. So what are the major peptides or proteins that found in that zone? Okay, let's write. So like from the peptide protein, it will be like ANP, or it might be the glucagon, and it might be it can release from the anterior pituitary, anterior or the posterior pituitary. Or in steroid, that will be the cortisol, aldosterone, estrogen, progesterone, and along with the some of the placental hormones are also there. So write down it. That is the cortisol, aldosterone, estrogen, and the testosterone, and some of the progesterone. These are the steroid hormone, and if it is the amino acid derived, that will be the thyroxine, or it might the epinephrine, norepinephrine. So these are kind of hormones that are present in the body. Okay, let's go for the vertebrate signaling for that. So that will be like very basics thing. What are the vertebrate signaling? Like endocrine signaling. So three kinds of signaling all you have to know. It is the endocrine, paracrine, and the autocrine. So we are mainly focused in that section, that will be the endocrine. So what are the basic pipeline of the releasing hormone? Just you use the chains. First thing, write down. Change the normally
vertebrate signal.
So in vertebrate signaling, it will be like the change
In Endocrine.
That is the change in the internal environment. So basically these all the things are sensed by the hypothalamus. So our main key player is the hypothalamus. So hypothalamus is released to the pituitary, and pituitary too it is released to the stimulating hormone, then act on target cell, and then the homeostasis maintained. So from the vertebrate signaling you can see the changes in the internal environment. There are hypothalamus, pituitary signaling and that stimulatory hormones, and that acts on the target cell, and these maintain the homeostasis maintenance. So already we have discussed it. So like in next we will just focus on the pineal gland and the hypothalamus and their architecture of the hypothalamus, and then the pituitary and the different hormones and their function. Hope that in there's a brief class, an introductory class of the endocrine system. Hope you can understand very easily.